It's time to sing a song for the unsung heroes. Let's all stand up tall and sing it loud. Let's all sing a song for the unsung heroes. And when we're through, there will be no doubt. And when we're through, there will be no doubt. Let's all sing a song for the unsung heroes. Let's all stand up tall and sing it loud. Let's all sing a song for the unsung heroes. Let's all stand up tall and sing it loud. Let's all sing a song for the unsung heroes. Let's all stand up tall and sing it loud.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, let me be the first to welcome you here today. Thank you for joining us for our 2023 In Memory Day ceremony. I am Mari Izzet, In Memory Program Manager for the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. VVMF is the nonprofit organization that built the wall in 1982, and it is our privilege to host this ceremony each year. VVMF receives no federal funding, so we are only able to do this because of our generous supporters. We'd like to give a heartfelt thank you to our sponsors for today's ceremony, as well as our In Memory circle of friends for their generous support. Today, we honor 566 individuals who will join more than 6,000 veterans who have been inducted into the In Memory Honor Roll. While it's been more than 40 years since the war ended, the family members here with us today know all too well the continuing impact of the Vietnam War on our nation's service members. Today, we acknowledge the service and the sacrifice of our fallen Vietnam veterans, and we also acknowledge you, the individuals who supported them as they faced a new battle once they returned home from Vietnam, and who were the first to tell them, "Welcome home." Many here know that this past year has been my first year working with VVMF and the In Memory program. I want to thank each and every one of you for allowing me to be a part of this. I have treasured the opportunity to see your loved one through your eyes and to connect to their story as told by someone who can tell it like no other. And I am honored to have stood alongside you through this experience. Earlier this week, I had a friend ask me, how do you think the In Memory families are feeling this week with the In Memory ceremony coming up this weekend? I think the families and loved ones here with us now can all agree that there is no clear path and there is no set of instructions. There is no right way for one to experience and grieve the loss of someone they hold dear. As you have prepared for this ceremony, you have expressed feelings of grief to me and feelings of relief, feelings of excitement to be here today, the feelings of anxiety as well. While there may be no set of instructions and there may be no right way to have faced the difficulties you have faced, there is something in the resilience and in the commitment to love and support those close to us in the group of people before me that I will certainly learn from and remember for the rest of my life. It is my hope that you will walk away from today knowing that your loved one's service and sacrifice will forever be honored here. We are so pleased to be here today and to have nearly 2,000 people in attendance. We thank you for traveling to be with us this weekend to pay tribute to your loved ones. I know we also have a lot of family and friends who could not be with us today in DC. We are live online, so those families can be a part of the ceremony too. We will have volunteers read their honorees' names. Please know that we're doing our best on pronunciations, and we hope to make you proud. I would like to take a moment to thank the VVMF staff and all of the volunteers that make this day possible. We could not do it without their hard work. And a special thank you to the West Point Alumni Glee Club, who are giving of their time to be here with us today. They provided some music pre-ceremony, and we will hear from them again a little later. A few housekeeping notes before we begin. I would ask that everyone silence their cell phones for the duration of the ceremony. We know this can be a long ceremony, but we do ask that everyone stay and remain seated until all names are read. We want to give the same respect to the last name read as we do the first name. If anyone at any time needs any assistance during the ceremony, please reach out to a VVMF staff member in a blue shirt or one of our yellow hat volunteers. We are here to assist you and to make this day special. It is now my pleasure to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, our President and CEO, Jim Knotts. Jim is an Air Force veteran of the Persian Gulf War and a graduate of the Air Force Academy. He now leads the effort at VVMF to honor the service and sacrifices of Vietnam veterans, those who sacrificed all, those who served, and those who waited for the service members to return, as well as those who serve today. Preserving the legacy of service from generation to generation, from Vietnam to the Persian Gulf War to Iraq and Afghanistan, is Jim's personal commitment and a part of the ongoing education efforts of VVMF. Please welcome Jim Knotts.
Hello, everybody. I know it's been a long journey for many of you to get here, and we are extremely excited to have you with us here today. On behalf of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, we're pleased to host today's in-memory ceremony and welcome you all to our nation's capital, and especially to this site that our nation has set aside for Vietnam veterans overlooking the wall. While I'm happy to serve as the Master of Ceremonies today, I'm filling in for Captain Dennis Faraday. Some of you I know him. He's listed in your program as the Master of Ceremonies, but he is watching from home today because of an illness. And since I could never replace Captain Faraday, I can only hope that I make him proud today. With that, please welcome our chaplain that will lead us in today's invocation, Colonel James Foster, Command Chaplain for the Military District of Washington.
I'm going to invite you to a moment of silence as we reflect on the reason that we're here. Honor those who have fallen from the Vietnam War after returning home. And I'll break that moment of silence with a word of prayer and invite you to join me with that. Almighty God, thank you for bringing us together here on these sacred grounds. Allow your Spirit to bring comfort to these souls gathered together for one cause. God, they've traveled, some of them, from many miles away. They sacrificed their time coming together in this assembly to reverence the sacrifice and loss of true heroes. Some of our nation's sons and daughters which have never been rightly recognized until today. So God, I cover it, and I humbly ask for your blessings on these faithful family members and loved ones of our loyal Vietnam veterans. You, O Lord, are no stranger to suffering. And I believe your scripture when it says that the Son of Man had to suffer many things and be rejected and killed in order to be raised up on the third day. Those who are here have been through much pain and sorrow. And their dearly departed heroes who have given everything have shared in that suffering all the way to the grave. Lord, raise them up and raise our spirits as we look to you for strength in this hour. Pour out your mercy and help us to know your amazing grace. In your holy name I pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're privileged to have with us today the West Point Alumni Glee Club, directed by Ms. Nancy Riley. I would ask that the Glee Club come and join me on the stage at this time. As you are able, please stand for the presentation of the colors by the U.S. Army Color Guard and remain standing until the colors are retired. Color Guard, present the colors.
Colors, halt. Colors, present arms. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now, here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance is Johnny R. Downs. Johnny, please come up. He is the brother of 2016 in-memory honoree Herman Downs.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Color Guard, retire the colors.
Guard, right shoulder on.
Please be seated. The West Point Alumni Glee Club was established in the fall of 2007 to carry the rich legacy of singing patriotic and inspirational music, a significant element of the warrior spirit. Membership is limited to West Pointers who enjoy singing and believe in the importance of traditional music in their continued service to the nation. Members average almost 20 years of active duty service, with more than 75% being combat veterans. Their goal is to spread the love of music among warriors and to honor and memorialize veterans, service members, and women and their families. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the West Point Alumni Glee Club, directed by Ms. Nancy Riley, singing Mansions of the Lord. Well, let's give one more round of applause to the West Point Alumni Glee Club. That was really beautiful, and they've offered their performances here at this ceremony for several years now, and we're just incredibly grateful to have them participate. I now invite the family and friends of those previously inducted into the In Memory Honor Roll from 1993 to 2022 to come up and read their loved ones' names. I would ask past participants only to come forward at this time.
My father, Sergeant First Class Robert M. Wright, United States Army, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, 7th Special Forces, Green Beret, Senior Medical Advisor, Bronze Star, a 2017 honoree. My brother, Spec 4, Terry Robert Wright, United States Army, 82nd Airborne Division, Communications Wireman, 2019 honoree. My brother, Sergeant Patrick Lee Wright, United States Army, 101st Airborne Division, Army Security Agency, Bronze Star, 2014 honoree.
I'm honoring my husband. He passed away 2017. He was a Vietnam vet. He served in the Army. He was a sergeant in 1970, and his name is Michael Dale Anderson, and I'm very proud of him.
I'm honoring my husband, who was my soulmate, hero, Leon Greiner, Army, Vietnam, 1966 to 67.
In memory of my husband, Larry James Kingsbury, a 2018 honoree, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 1971 to 72. I love and miss you every day.
Honoring my husband, Thomas Edward Dowler, died in 2020. We've been married for 37 years, and he was inducted in 2022. Thank you.
Thank you for your service, Tommy. Welcome home.
My husband, in memory of my dad, Antonino Farinella, U.S. Army.
We're honoring my husband and her dad. He was inducted in 2017, served 68-69 in the Army, and we miss him.
Herman Pfeffer Jr.
My dad, Robert Patrick Kapczynski, 173rd Airborne.
Today we honor my husband, father, granddaddy, inducted in 2022, Donald Lee Hume, who served in Vietnam for 1 year, 8 months, 23 days in the 173rd Airborne.
In memory of my husband, Alan Strout, who served in Vietnam 1965 and 66, a 2021 honoree. We miss you every day.
In honor of my husband, Gary F. Schiappa, he was on the USS Berry 933 as a chef, and he was in Vietnam 1966 to 67.
My dad, George Berry, Master Sergeant, retired Army, 2018 honoree.
To our dad, Sergeant Anthony J. Wallace, United States Army, 1st Cav, Purple Heart, we love you and miss you.
My stepfather, Alva Lee Goss, Air Force, 2 Purple Hearts, 2020 honoree, we love and miss you.
Our grandfather,
John Henry Thomas Lunn,
United States Marine Corps.
In loving memory of my beloved husband
and my dad
and my grandpa,
Richard Lee Bruce,
U.S. Army, 1965 to 1966.
In memory of our father, retired Lieutenant Colonel Robert John Banasic, United States Army, Korea, and Vietnam.
My husband, a 2016 honoree, Staff Sergeant John Frank Parisi, United States Marine Corps, 1965 to 1971. Vietnam, November 1966 to December 1967. I planned on spending the rest of my life with you. Thank you for spending the rest of your life with me.
Captain Robert L. Hanover, United States Marine Corps, 68, 69.
My hero, Lieutenant Colonel John C. Johnston, United States Marine Corps.
My husband, David Lopez, United States Marine Corps.
My dad, Sergeant First Class Clifton J. Richard, retired U.S. Army, Korea and Vietnam, 2017 nominee.
My grandfather, James Langford, Korea and Vietnam, but 2018 honoree.
My husband and her dad, Tommy Louis Marjoram, U.S. Air Force.
Thanks,
My two
Dad,
brothers,
for giving your all.
My two brothers, Marine Sergeant Major Henry Hoffman and Marine Sergeant Richard Hoffman.
My dad, Jim Henderson, U.S. Air Force.
My brother, Corporal Herman Downs, United States Marines, thank you for our service to his country, and peace be still, brother. Peace be still.
For my friend, Robert Lee George, U.S. Army. My first late husband, John Carlin Hollander, Spec 4, U.S. Army Special Forces. My second late husband, Paul Crawford Stancliffe, U.S. Navy Machinist Mate.
And now we'll be reading the names of our in-memory circle of friends honorees who could not be present with us today. Wayne Carl Berquist, Jr. Donald Dwight Hagens. Charles W. Mernon III. John W. Johnston. Charles Joseph Louviere. Terry Dean McFeeters. Lauren Patrick Shea. Dennis Starr. James Robert Szymanski. Edward J. Feely. Wayne Gilbert Weldon. John Peter Alcama Jr. Dennis A. Kelly. Michael Nash. Michael James Apollonia. Gary Wayne Atchison. Harold Arthur Bailey. Joseph Louis Barthel. Michael Burmese. Albert Earl Boutwell III. Max Burton Scheider. Joseph Henry Brown. William Dennis Cannon. John William Stevens Jr. Daniel Drummond. Arthur Michael Demopoulos. Adrian Louis Durbin. Rufus Lee Edwards. Craig Dwight Ford. David Scott Foster. David Keith Fryer. Bruce M. Gassler. James Francis Welter.
James L. Herbert. Gary Lynn Hendry Sr. Bruce Andrew Hilt. Billy Ray Ward. Dennis Huey. Ronald Kirkland Kingsley. James Joseph Kraus. Jimmy Dale Lindeman. Harry Richard Boring. John Edwin Mack. Joe Dean Marlowe. John J. Martin II. Ronald McCarty. Patrick E. McDaniel. Harold R. McDonald, Jr. William Michael Tignor. Glenn Patrick Valarusso. Louis Jean Miller. Clifford Minoru Miyashiro. Dale William Musseloff. Richard J. Osborne. Ken Osterbahn. Tony Michael Patterson. Peter Philip Philauer. J. Brent Lang. David K. Reese. Ralph Emerson Reinhardt. Norman Jean Rosendahl. Larry Albert Bowers. Terry Lee Simmons. Robert John Benezek. Joseph Vincent Tallarico. James Edward Thomas.
Thank you. Before we begin the reading of the names of this year's honorees, I'd like to offer a few thoughts. Today, in the shadow of the wall, we honor the service and sacrifice of men and women who served in the Vietnam War and have since died. The Vietnam War was unpopular at home, yet nearly 3 million Americans served in Vietnam when called to serve their country. They served for lots of reasons. Could be a legal requirement because they were drafted, a sense of duty to their country, or even so that others didn't have to serve. Thankfully, most returned home. However, for many, coming home from Vietnam was just the beginning of a whole new fight. Many never fully recovered, either physically or emotionally, from their experiences. That's why the In Memory program exists, because only a fraction of the casualties actually died on the battlefields of Vietnam. Many more carried their wounds back and suffered long after the actual fighting ended. As these service members pass, it is our duty and our solemn promise to welcome them home to this place that our nation has set aside to remember and honor our Vietnam veterans. While they may not meet the requirements from the Department of Defense for addition to the wall, they certainly are worthy of joining their brothers and sisters in this place of honor and remembrance. For many of the family members here, this ceremony is bittersweet. Your loss is still new. And while that pain lingers, nonetheless, you are proud of your Vietnam veteran and happy to see them finally receive the recognition that they deserve. The In Memory program has brought you all together here today. Look around. You've all endured tremendous loss, and we want you to know that you are not alone. I offer you this thought, which I hope will bring you some comfort. Our Vietnam veterans took upon themselves the commitment to never allow our country to send another generation of men and women into harm's way for their country without the respect and honor that they deserve. That is part of their legacy. And the next time you hear someone say, "Thanks for your service," to someone in uniform, you can take comfort in knowing that thanks also is being extended to your loved one. More than 5,600 service members are already a part of the In Memory Honor Roll, and today we add 566, your loved ones. I challenge each of you here today to find another family that has lost their Vietnam veteran and tell them about this In Memory program so that we can add them to our honor roll as well. Together, we'll make sure that their sacrifices and those of their families will never be forgotten. For as long as this memorial stands, and as long as visitors come to this place to learn, your loved ones will be remembered. And now, what the families and friends of our 2023 honorees are about to do has become a tradition here at the memorial, the reading of the names. At this time, we will begin to read the names of this year's In Memory honorees. Please remain in your seats until your row is released by an usher. Once you have read your honoree's name, please return to your seat. As we assemble, you will hear a recording of a special song that recognizes those who served in Vietnam. It is The Unsung Heroes by Chuck Price. Chuck performed it here in person at ceremonies for many years until his death. I would remind everyone we have 566 honorees, and we want to offer each and every one of them the same level of respect today. We expect this to go easily 3 to 4 hours, so in the interest of time, I would ask you to keep your comments short and straightforward, as I will demonstrate in a moment when I read the first name. In the meantime, as our readers are gathering here, let's enjoy this song, The Unsung Heroes by Chuck Price.
It's time to sing a song for the unsung heroes. Let's all stand up tall and sing it loud. Let's all sing a song for the unsung heroes. And when we're through, there will be no doubt. Sing it for the ones that didn't make it, and sing it for the ones who live to tell. Sing it for the doctors and the nurses and the corpsmen who witnessed living hell. We'll sing it for the ones who flew the chopper. Sing it for the ones who flew the jets. Let's make sure that we all remember, 'cause the price they pay is too much to forget. So let's all sing a song for the unsung heroes. Let's all stand up tall and sing it loud. Let's all sing a song for the unsung heroes. And when we're through, there will be no doubt. Let's all sing a song for the unsung heroes. Let's all stand up tall and sing it loud. Let's all sing a song for the unsung heroes. And when we're through, there will be no doubt. And when we're through, there will be no doubt.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to begin the 2023 in memory reading of the names. On behalf of the family, Robert Winfield Sneeden, United States Army.
On behalf of the families and the classmates of my three brothers from the West Point class of 1965, Dick Kramer, my roommate, Lau West, my good friend, and Dick Coleman, my Glee Club buddy and classmate. Rest easy, brothers. Well done.
I'm here to honor my father, Purple Heart recipient, Bronze Star recipient, U.S. Army Staff Sergeant James L. Brown, Sr.
On behalf of the family, Eldon Lee Passard, U.S. Air Force.
On behalf of the family, Levis Franklin Brinkley, U.S. Army, today we honor your service.
On behalf of the family of Michael David Paris, United States Navy, an American hero.
On behalf of the family of Walter Jerome Brock, United States Air Force.
On behalf of the family of Robert Frank Palmer, Jr., United States Marine Corps, we honor and remember your sacrifice.
On behalf of the family of Larry J. Bryce, U.S. Army, we honor your service and we thank you.
On behalf of the family of Master Sergeant Clement E. Palladino, United States Army, retired.
On behalf of the family of Charles William Albritton, United States Army, welcome home, brother.
On behalf of the family of Barry Bruce Osell, U.S. Navy, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Mark Wayne Boutwell, U.S. Marine Corps. Ruah!
On behalf of the family of Theodore H. Orahood, United States Air Force.
On behalf of the family of Dewey Chris Boswell, U.S. Army Artilleryman. Boom!
On behalf of the family of Charles Munch Jr., United States Army.
On behalf of the family of Ted Tallis Boquist, U.S. Army Special Forces, we honor your service and sacrifice.
On behalf of the family of Lowell E. Mortimer, U.S. Marine Corps, we honor your service.
In memory of Floyd Francis Turek Jr.,
Navy.
On behalf of Robert Lee Molenkoff, thank you for your service. Welcome home, U.S. Army.
On behalf of our mother and the rest of our family, we honor our father, Michael Alexander Caldwell.
CW2, United States Army retired and Purple Heart recipient, Vietnam 71-72.
On behalf of the family of Bobby Joe Mitchell, U.S. Army.
United States Army, Purple Heart recipient. Say John Francis.
John Francis.
On behalf of the family of John Thomas Mackin, U.S. Army, welcome home, well done. In memory of our father, our dad, Richard A. Bruning.
United States Air Force.
On behalf of the family of Brian Patrick O'Connor, U.S. Army, thank you, sir.
In memory of my husband
and my grandpa,
Pablo Villarreal Jr., U.S. Army, 1966-68.
On behalf of the family of Sanford E. Newman Sr., U.S. Air Force.
We are here to honor our father, Captain Dean A. Wright, United States Army. We lost him March 9th, 2023.
Vietnam 70-71 Bronze Star recipient.
For Karen, and on behalf of the rest of her family, Perry Eugene Ton, U.S. Marine Corps.
In honor of our grandfather,
my father, Frank Clanker Pietrobola. We love you.
My husband, Ralph Harold Epstein, United States Navy, Vietnam 69-70.
My daddy, his brother, Dennis Patrick Kilday, Corporal, 1967 to 1969. We love and miss you very much.
We're here to honor our father, brother, and Pop, John P. Vollmer, Vietnam, U.S. Army.
Robert Nicholas Fry III, second, Vietnam and Dominican Republic.
I'm proud to honor Lance Corporal Marine J. Paul Raines, loving husband, my pops. We'll see you soon, pops.
My husband, Rafael Espada, United States Army, 9th Infantry, 68-69. He was proud to have served his country. He is well loved.
I'm here today in honor of my husband,
My dad.
Master Sergeant Michael O. Peterson, Vietnam, 1965-1967. Thank you.
we love and miss you, Hunchback.
In memory of Master Sergeant Donald M. Richer, U.S. Air Force, 66-67.
Our father and hero, Robert Samuel Green.
U.S. Army, 1966-68, Purple Heart recipient.
In memory of my dad,
my grandfather, David Richard Thompson, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 1968-1969. Thank you for being my hero.
on behalf of the family, Jeffrey Johnson Abbott, U.S. Army, we honor your service.
On behalf of his family, Dwayne Doc Holliday, U.S. Army, in service Vietnam, 1971 to 1972.
On behalf of the family, Florentine Thomas Angel, U.S. Marine Corps, Semper Fi.
On behalf of Marlon A. Waterbury, our father, brother, and on behalf of the family, medically retired, Korea, and Vietnam.
On behalf of our father and the rest of our family, we remember Jonathan Leonard Engelhard, U.S. Army.
Husband of one, father of three, grandfather of four.
We are honoring our father, Sergeant Charles W. Morris, U.S. Army. My mother, sister, and I love you and miss you so much.
U.S. Army, paratrooper, Purple Heart recipient. We love you.
We love you.
In honor of my father and her brother, Major Louis Anthony Davis, United States Air Force.
We're here to honor our father, Sergeant Robert Henry Nelson, United States Marine Corps, 1964 to 1970, Vietnam War 1st Marine Division, Purple Heart recipient. Father, grandfather, brother, uncle, loyal friend, and always a Marine. Hooah!
On behalf of the family of Ken W. Ashby, U.S. Navy, thank you for your service.
Ralph John Mailer, U.S. Army, 1968, 48th Assault Helicopter Company.
My husband, Ralph, for 54 years.
Father.
I miss you forever and always.
Father, grandfather, and great-grandfather.
On behalf of the family, Michael Philip Blackburn, U.S. Air Force, we thank you for your service.
Dennis Lawrence Hadler, husband, father, grandfather, Vietnam 3 tours, 1967 to 1971, United States Marine Corps.
The family honors the memory of Willie J. Ashley, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
We are proud to be here today to honor Captain Ronald Walter Rowe, U.S. Air Force. I'm standing here with his two daughters, Heather and Angie, and although he never met his 4 grandchildren, they are with us today in the audience, Chandler, Chase, Chloe, and Lily. So on behalf of his family, I would like to thank him for his service. He received a bronze medal for his meritorious service in the 8th Tactical Fighter Wing at Ubon Airfield, Thailand, 1968-1969. You are always and will be our hero forever. We miss you more with each passing day.
In honor of her husband and our father, Michael Bruckler, 1st Cavalry of the U.S. Army, we love you, Big Mike.
I miss you, Mike. Welcome home, Daddy.
On behalf of, or to the family of Gary Richard Nelson, U.S. Army, welcome home.
On behalf of the family of Paul Thomas Bannock, U.S. Air Force.
On behalf of our brother, Larry Dean Sizemore, 1st Air Cav, 1968.
On behalf of the family of Richard Anthony Baraga, U.S. Army.
In memory of our father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, Anthony McCloskey, Sr., U.S. Army.
Proud to honor Honoree Ray Allen Kwan, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, we honor John Reed Naufel, United States Air Force.
On behalf of the family, Dwayne Allen Martin, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Leroy W. Nash, United States Army.
On behalf of the family of First Sergeant William Allen Breedlove, United States Marine Corps, 1967 to 1991, served in 2 tours of duty in Vietnam, 67 to 70, Purple Heart recipient, and he was at Khe Sanh. Thank you.
On behalf of the family of Michael Elliott McClendon, United States Army.
On behalf of the family and in honor of Clarence Magruder Bond III, United States Marine Corps. Hooah.
James K. Cretion Sr. of Massachusetts, 64 to 66, proud Army tugboat driver, Vietnam.
I'm honoring my husband today, Albert Townsend, our father, United States Army, Vietnam, 1966 to 1968, Purple Heart recipient.
In memory of our father, my mother's husband, 55 years, David Keith Newell, United States Army, Vietnam, 65 to 66.
I'm also honoring for Barbara Dixon, my cousin, her husband, Donald Dixon, United States Air Force.
In memory of Joseph Francis Knight Sr., United States Army, MP and dog handler, Vietnam, 1965. Loving husband and father.
And brother. He always was, is, and will be our hero.
In honor of our whole family, we honor my father, Freddie James Robertson, Staff Sergeant, U.S. Army. He was many things, had many titles like teacher and uncle, and he was a dutiful son to my gran. He was my mother's soulmate, and husband of 53 years. He was the best dad I could have ever asked for, but his favorite title was...
What? I love him so much.
Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Thank you.
On behalf of the family of Charles William Meyer, U.S. Navy, thank you.
This amazing man is Douglas D. Jensen Jr. Sr., who picked us. He is the love of my mom's life, her soulmate. They would have been married 52 years this year. He is the best dad that my brother Doug Jr. and I could have ever asked for. He was a very proud, loving, and giving grandpa. This is Corporal Douglas D. Jensen Sr., 2 Purple Hearts, a Bronze Star, and others. Thank you.
In honor of my brother, my uncle, U.S. Army, Ron Day, Vietnam, 1969. I love you and miss you. Welcome home.
Kat A. Bene. On behalf of the Navajo Nation, a grateful nation, and the family, I am proud to honor and commemorate the life of Henry Todachitni, United States Army Specialist 5, Military Assistance Command, 1966 to 1969, hailing from Tisnas Pass, Arizona. Ahiaha.
We're here to honor her father, my grandfather, Jerry Lee Miller, born April 1st, 1943 to April 3rd, 2004. U.S. Army, Vietnam, 67 to 68.
I stand on behalf of the Johnson family, Daphne Johnson, my mother, my siblings, Tamara, Florence, and Curtis. We lift up our father, Curtis Douglas Johnson Sr., Major, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 1969 to 1970.
In honor of our father, Thomas Edward Nicodemus, United States Army.
Our family honors and remembers Robert Wesley Kipp Sr., Vietnam, 1969 to 71. Loving husband, father, brother, and grandfather. Specialist 5th Class in the 238th Aerial Weapons Company known as the Gun Runners, United States Army.
Bob, we love you, we're proud of you, and thank you for everything you gave.
In honor of my father and her husband, Albert Joseph Baraniak.
Major, U.S. Army, Silver Star, Bronze Star recipient.
In honor of our brother,
Ronald Dewing.
Our dad, grandpa, and great-grandpa, Thomas Miles Moreland, U.S. Army, 39th Combat Engineers. Thank you for your service.
My dad, Elkanah Robinson, U.S. Army.
My husband of 48 years, Stephen J. Neuendorf, Colonel retired. He earned 2 Bronze Stars in Vietnam.
I am here today to honor my husband of 48 years, Johnny Lynn Olson. He was a beautiful man and a brave warrior. God bless you, Johnny.
We're honoring my father, brother, and husband, Kenneth Lish. He served in 69 and 70, U.S. Army 1st Cav Charlie Company, Bronze Star recipient.
Thank you for your love, kindness, and your love of Seinfeld.
My father, my dad, my friend to many, pops to a few. Spec 4, Thomas Henry Carney III, United States Army.
On behalf of the friends and family of John Lewis Mayberry, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of John R. Bisacki, U.S. Air Force, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family and friends of Gary Wayne Mutraw, U.S. Army, welcome home.
On behalf of the family, Alan Lee Betts, U.S. Marine Corps. Simplify.
On behalf of the family, we honor Gary W. Martin, United States Navy.
On behalf of the family of Clifford Guy Bennett Sr., U.S. Navy, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family, David Hubert Nummer, U.S. Army.
The family would like to honor the memory of Dennis B., U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of our children, granddaughter, family, and friends, my husband, Donald Hugh Oakley, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Leonard C. Baxter, U.S. Marine Corps.
On behalf of our family, Dean L. Mitchell, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Timothy George Bartram, U.S. Air Force.
My brother and I'd like to honor our Master Chief Father, retired, United States Navy. He was on the USS Midway, Carl Vinson. He was in Vietnam, 1967 to 70. He was in the Brownwater Navy, and I'm honored to know him. James Eugene Sanders.
Proud to honor Stephen Dale Bartram, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Edgar Allen Newsom, United States Army.
We're here to honor our father, Michael John Kulig, United States Marine Corps.
We're here to honor our brother, Corporal Carl F. Phillips, Jr., U.S. Marine Corps.
On behalf of my son, Aaron, I'm here to honor my husband, Bill Welker, United States Army, Vietnam, 1966-67.
On behalf of our family, my children, grandchildren, my husband of 46 years, we honor Bishop William M. Young, U.S. Army, 69 to 70.
On behalf of the family and in honor of Donald Jerome Barger, United States Marine Corps, we honor your service and sacrifice. Hoorah.
In memory of my loving husband,
Father,
grandfather,
Robert W. Champagne, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 1970 to 1971.
Purple Heart, we miss you, Dad.
On behalf of our family, we're here to honor my father and her grandfather, Charles Edwin Arthur, U.S. Army, Sergeant, part of the 25th Infantry, Tropic Lightning, Vietnam, 1967 to 1969.
We're here to honor our father, grandfather, and brother.
James Charles Weaver, U.S. Army, Bronze Star. We miss you, Dad.
In honor of my father and his brother, Mike Lyon, passed away in 2007, U.S. Army. Thanks, Dad.
May you rest in peace.
In honor of my father, Gary Gordon Atchison. I miss you, Dad.
In honor of our brother, uncle, cousin, two-time Vietnam veteran, United States Air Force, Sergeant James Beasley.
We're here to honor my brother-in-law and friend, Louis Champrito Sr. He's Navy, Air Force, Vietnam, Bronze Star, 1968, 1969. Welcome home, buddy.
We miss you, Pop.
Honoring my father, Larry James Wilson, U.S. Navy, Army.
Our dad, Lloyd Gene Heath, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 69 to 71.
For the family, I have the honor of presenting Gregory F. Dabrocki, U.S. Army.
On behalf of my Aunt Susan and the rest of our family, Otto B. Johnson, Jr., U.S. Army.
In memory of her husband and my grandfather, William Waldemar Johnson, Jr., who served in the Vietnam War, was a Bronze Star recipient. He was a son, husband, grandfather, brother, and friend, and we all love and miss him dearly.
On behalf of the family of Robert Allen Marshall, U.S. Army.
Grateful to have my father, Larry Neville, properly honored. He served in the U.S. Army from 1970 to 71 and passed in 2020, too suddenly and too soon. I wish we had more time, and we miss you.
We love you and free. Fly, fly, fly.
On behalf of the family of Curtis R. Mincher, U.S. Army.
My dad, Jerry Alexander, U.S. Air Force.
On behalf of the family of Ronnie Mahan, U.S. Army.
On behalf of Wayne Edward Winholtz and his family and my uncle. And then in honor of David Lycum, my father, her husband,
And my grandpa, U.S. Army, Vietnam, Purple Heart recipient.
It's 2nd of the 5th, it's 7071.
Honoring Paul Ross Millwood, U.S. Army. Rest in peace.
in honor of our dad.
Roy E. Betteridge, U.S. Army, and we miss you.
We miss you, Dad.
On behalf of the family of Charles Richard Maglione, U.S. Navy, thank him for his service.
On behalf of my family and I, Ulysses Albert Black Sr., my daddy, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Dana Humison Miller, United States Army.
On behalf of my father, Robert W. William Thoreau, U.S. Army Sergeant, Big Red 1, served from 1965 to 1968. He was a chaplain and advocate for over 25 years for his local Veterans Club.
On behalf of the family, Robert Michael Maddock, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, Roger Gerard Davignon, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family, Charles Monroe Richardson, U.S. Air Force.
On behalf of the family and my honor, Michael Thomas DeVilla, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
Sergeant Robert Buck Snyder, proud Marine then and always, in Vietnam 1965 and 66.
He was my hero for 54 years. We had 3 children and 2 grandchildren.
On behalf of the family of Jim Marquard, U.S. Army.
In honor of our dad, Henry Hank Raymond Sudart, U.S. Army, Americal Division.
Honoring the memory of Robert Van Copeland, U.S. Air Force. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Dennis Ransom Richland, United States Air Force.
On behalf of the family of Jack Wayne Danielson, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
My husband, William Jason Blinkage, U.S. Army, 1st Cab, 1st Gunner, 67, 68, Purple Heart recipient, and a Bronze Medal recipient.
Thank you, ma'am.
On behalf of the family of Donald Edward Comfort, U.S. Army, rest in peace.
In memory of Douglas A. Wright, loving husband, father, grandpa, and now great-grandpa.
66 through 68, MACV, 91st Team, Silver Star, and Purple Heart.
In memory of our father, Troy Leroy Varney, U.S. Marine Corps, Purple Heart recipient. He was known to family and friends as Rudy. He was the 326 Marine machine gunner. When he came home, he spent 40 plus years of his life dedicated to serving and helping other veterans.
I wish to honor the memory of Army veteran specialist Gerald Raymond Coster on behalf of his wife, Janice Coster. Also would like to honor the memory of Lieutenant Commander Leslie Cooley on behalf of his wife and my baby sister, Ellen Cooley. Thank you.
Hi, we're here to represent our family, honoring our dad.
Thomas Ray Cribbs, United States Navy, Korea, and Vietnam.
In honor of our family, great papa, father, and husband, Patrick J. O'Brien, served 1965 to 1966 in the U.S. Navy.
We are here in memory of his father and my grandfather, Sergeant Darrell Dean Adams, United States Army.
We are here to honor my husband, his father,
my grandfather,
Lieutenant Colonel James L. Irwin. He served in Vietnam from 69 to 70 in the air evacuation unit, and he went into Hanoi with the air evacuation to bring out the POWs.
I'm proud to honor my husband of 50 years, Timothy Brought Sr. He served in the Army in Vietnam in the 116th Assault Helicopter Company. Tim, your family will love and honor you always and in all ways. Welcome home.
In honor of my husband of 47 years, Frederick Paul Piskorski Sr., United States Marine Corps, Vietnam, 1970-71.
Honoring our Papa, Clifford Edward Adams,
U.S. Army 173rd Airborne Brigade, 1970.
My husband of 52 years, Daddy and Papa, Specialist 4, Ronald Lee Aslan, United States Army Crew Chief, Vietnam, 68-69, recipient of the Air Medal. Always on our mind, forever in our hearts. Love you.
Proudly serving the U.S. Army out of the 18th Airborne in Fort Bragg and fighting side by side with his brothers in the 1st Cav, 228th Aviation Battalion. My daddy, Private First Class Delfino Fidel Rios.
Thank you for your service, Papa.
On behalf of the family of John Allen Clark, U.S. Army.
In memory of my husband of 42 years, Lieutenant Colonel David Cole served in Vietnam as a Green Beret, 2 tours, 1962, 63, and 70, 71. And he leaves behind 6 beautiful daughters, 10 grandchildren, and soon to be 9 great-grands.
we love you.
Happy landing, Airborne.
On behalf of the family of Robert Donald Clinton.
I'm here for my papa, my veteran, my person. I know that he would love this. Thank you for your service. And welcome home, Roy Michael Kraft. Thank you, guys.
I'm proud to honor Ron Christensen, United States Marine Corps.
I'm proud to honor Timothy Edward Gard, Sr., U.S. Navy. Timothy entered the Navy on his 17th birthday. He served for 3 years, 9 months, and 27 days. He served aboard the USS Newman K. Perry. He was a loving husband, a father, an uncle, a brother, My grandfather and friends to all. and we'd like to welcome him home, and all our veterans, welcome home. Thank you.
On behalf of the family of Albert Raymond Robinson, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
In memory of our father, Spec for Robert Anthony Scott, United States Army.
Dad, you always been the best. Thank you for your service.
My husband, Timothy K. Vinsky, from Toledo, Ohio, Vietnam, 4th Infantry, Recon Sergeant. I honor him always. Thank you.
On behalf of our family, Staff Sergeant Larry Dwayne Nicholson, Air Force Pararescue, that others may live.
On behalf of the family of Kenneth Riley Mincher Sr., U.S. Marine Corps, and to all of you today, earth knows no sorrow that heaven cannot heal. God bless you.
We are here on behalf of all of our family to honor my dad, along with my 2 brothers, her papa, along with 13 other grand and great-grandchildren, and my mom's beloved husband of 53 years, Sergeant Gerald R. Ward, United States Marine Corps, Vietnam 67-68, 3rd Marines Kilo 33, Bronze Star, with Valor recipient. We love you and miss you, Papa. Semper Fi.
Love you, baby.
On behalf of the family of Larry Gene Robinson, U.S. Army, thank you, sir.
In honor of my uncle, his father, grandchildren in the audience, and wife and family, I'd like to honor Andrew J. Nagel.
Proud U.S. Army vet, served in Vietnam, DMZ Watchtower, May 68 to 69. We honor you, miss you, thank you for your service.
Go Browns.
On behalf of the family of Ricky Lee Rogers, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
In memory of my husband, John Edward Hunter.
And my best friend, my dad. I miss you, buddy.
67, 68. He was part of the 27th Land Clearing Team. Thank you.
To the family and friends of Roger D. Romick, U.S. Navy, welcome home.
In loving memory of my dad,
My great-grandpa.
Paul Poling, Army.
U.S. Army.
We love you, Dad.
On behalf of the family of John Joseph Rush, U.S. Army.
In loving memory of my grandfather,
Father,
also son, brother, and friend, David Wayne Beal, U.S. Army. We love you.
On behalf of the family of Charles Edward Rummel, United States Marine Corps.
We're here to honor our father, Sergeant Ronald Delia, who was a member of the 196th Light Infantry Brigade, 67, 68 in Vietnam. If he was here today, he'd be saying it's too hot to be doing this for him today, but we're here anyway. Love you, Dad.
Love and miss you, Dad. Say it.
Love you, miss you, Dad.
In memory of my husband, my hero, loving father, grandfather, Big Papa, and brother, U.S. Navy, PBR River Section 513. Billy Frank Moore, Sr.
In honor of my husband, Jack O'Neill Anderson, U.S. Navy, two tours in Vietnam from 66 to 68, recipient of the Bronze Star and 2 Purple Hearts.
My husband and their father, Michael Felix Felice, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 68, 69. On behalf of my husband and family, Doyle Dwight Hensley, U.S. Navy, PBR 513. We love you, hon, and we missed you.
He was our dad. He received a Purple Heart and the Bronze Star with Valor. We love you. We miss you. We thank you for your courage, your honor, and your sacrifice. Welcome home, Dad.
Ralph Shamblin Stone II, my husband, best friend of almost 50 years, went to be with the Lord on December 25th, 2022. He was an author, composer, musician, teacher, and mentor to many.
And a father and a grandfather and a great-grandfather.
In memory of James Bunker Culhane.
A father, a brother, an uncle.
Grandfather.
U.S. Army, 1st of the 52nd Infantry, 1697 Vietnam. Love and miss you, bro. God bless.
On behalf of the family and friends of Raymond Andrew Cawley, U.S. Army, we honor your service.
On behalf of my family, and in honor of my uncle Dennis Lynn Toby, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, Don Cates, U.S. Army, we honor your service.
On behalf of the family, Molino Shalinas, U.S. Navy.
We are here on behalf of our family honoring a wonderful husband, father, Poppy, great Poppy, our uncle, Jerome Lee Stricker, Sergeant, United States Marine Corps.
In country, 1966 through 1967. In life through the year 2022, and in our hearts forever. We're proud to honor our dad, husband, and grandpa, our hero, Robert Bettis, United States Army. We love you, Dad.
Honoring the service of William Albrecht Cartier, Jr., U.S. Marine Corps.
It is my privilege to represent the family and many friends of Larry Olin Witt, United States Army.
In memory of Harlan E. Carlson, U.S. Army.
Honoring Bill Hazelton, U.S. Army, my husband.
Our dad.
I miss your practical jokes. I'm sorry you never got to see your beautiful children grow up. And I'm sorry you never got to play with your awesome grandchildren and your great grandson. We'll miss you.
On behalf of the family of Lawrence William Carter, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
In memory of Kenneth Carl Krimmel, U.S. Army, beloved husband, father, papa, to Gabby, Evie, Sam, and Eleanor, we love and miss you, Big K.
On behalf of the family of Clarence James Carpenter, U.S. Army, rest in peace.
On behalf of our family, my husband, their father, his father, 95-year-old father is here, and his sister and brother-in-law, and my son-in-law, and his 2 grandchildren, sons that were never able to meet him. It's for Dean Eldon Callison. He served in the USS Navy, and I was on the USS Oriskany from 70 to 74. That served in the Navy from 1968 to 74. We miss you and love you.
In honor of the family of Rudy A. Scott III, served in the U.S. Air Force and was born July 10th, 1946 and died March 7th, 2006. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of my husband
and my father,
Samuel Marquez, U.S. Marine Corps.
On behalf of his family, Alvin Leroy Schultz, U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you for your kind service.
He was my husband for just 11 years and the father of my 4 beautiful children, now grown. Peter Anton Tony Foles, United States Air Force. We honor you.
I have the honor and privilege of representing the family and friends of Marine Joe W. C. Gary, United States Marine Corps, Semper Fidelis.
On behalf of the family of Daniel Leroy Saltz, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Alvin Lee Sheridan, United States Air Force, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Ronald Edward Sandoval, United States Army.
On behalf of the family of James E. Shalene, U.S. Navy.
On behalf of the family, it's a privilege to honor David W. Chafee, U.S. Army. Welcome home, sir.
On behalf of the family of Brian Norman Severson, U.S. Army.
On behalf of our family, my dad, grandpa, great-grandpa, John J. Delaney, United States Navy Hospital Medical Corps, 3 tours, 1962, 1967, and 1969 to 70. Thank you.
I'm proud to honor David G. Shea, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, we honor Anthony Bruno Schumacheris, United States Army.
On behalf of the family, John Charles Shepherdson, U.S. Air Force, thank you for your service.
In memory of our father, Rod Van Queckelberg, U.S. Army, 1966, 1969, 2 tours. Miss you, Dad.
Miss you, Dad.
For our dad, Jim Gillenwater, U.S. Army.
A loving husband, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and one hell of a fisherman.
In memory of our father, Alfred Doobie, U.S. Marine Corps, 66-67, Purple Heart recipient.
In memory of my husband, Philip Michael Bingaman, U.S. Army, 1st Infantry Division, Big Red 1, 2 Tet Offensive, January 68 to January 69.
It was my father's honor and privilege to serve his country, and we are grateful to God that he came home to be a loving father, husband, grandfather, and great-grandfather, and a hardworking American. Thank you, Dad.
We are here to honor Lyle H. Minke from the United States Air Force, a very proud veteran. He served from 64 to 68.
Our father, Kevin Helford, U.S. Army.
In memory of our daddy, Donald Ray Lambert, U.S. Army.
In honor of my brother and my father, John Gillis Quilty, U.S. Army. Thank you.
On behalf of our family, we are here to honor my father and her father, Edward Grafchi, U.S. Army. Air Force.
In memory of our dad, Daniel Stephen Bethel, U.S. Army, Vietnam.
Happy Heavenly Father, or Happy Heavenly Birthday, Daddy. Butts up for you. Go Bengals. Hooday.
In honor of my best friend, my hero, my father, Thomas G. Lewis, United States Army, Vietnam.
In memory of my grandfather, Gilbert Gelling.
And my husband, Vietnam, 68-69, Purple Heart, Bronze Star with Valor. We're all here for you, Gil. We miss you.
Love you, Granddad.
On behalf of the family of Ronnie A. Schuell, U.S. Army, thank you.
On behalf of the entire Davis crew, friends, and family, we are here to honor my father, Robert Allen Davis, Moshe Zelig Ben Elchanan, Vafred. We love you, Daddy. U.S. Army, 1966, 67. You were not supposed to DD mouse so soon. 08.
I miss you, Grandpa.
In honor of my husband, Roger Wayne Aarons, served 2 tours in Vietnam. He was in the United States Marine Corps and father of many.
Finally, recognition for all who served, including my husband, Richard Dale Landerman, U.S. Army, 92nd Assault Helicopter Company.
On behalf of the family of Joseph Michael Quinn, U.S. Army. In memory of Terry Allen Stauberg, U.S. Army.
We're here to honor Robert Henry Strahan, my husband, their brother-in-law. He was the United States Navy, retired, Vietnam 1966 through 1968.
On behalf of the entire Smith family and loving memory of my dad, U.S. Army Sergeant Nathan Smith Sr., 75th Rangers, 101st and 173rd Airborne, Purple Heart, Bronze Medal, and Air Medal recipient. Love and miss you forever, Dad.
On behalf of the family and friends of Andrew Patrick Casper Jr., U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Henry Calvin Rutledge, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family, Russell E. Jamison Sr., U.S. Marine Corps, Semper Fi.
Loving husband, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, Sergeant Major Ernst Henry Pohl Sr., U.S. Army retired, 1st Cav, Air Mobile, 66 to 67, Military Assistance Command, Vietnam, 69 to 70, Bronze Star with Oak Leaf, Air Medal. Rest easy, Dad. We'll take it from here.
Honoring the memory of David James Jenkins, Jr., U.S. Air Force, thank you for your service.
On behalf of his family, my dad, James Millard Hart, Jr., U.S. Navy.
For our dad and loving husband, Lieutenant Colonel Don Sullivan, Bronze Heart, 25th Infantry Division.
Reading on behalf of the family of David W. Keller, U.S. Army.
On behalf of his family, my dad, Jay Halliday, U.S. Army from 68 to 70, 11th Armored Cav, K-Troop, Black Horse.
In memory of my father, the grandpa they never got to meet, and a proud Marine, Steve Crumbling.
On behalf of the family of Joe Johnson Sr., U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
In honor of our dad, Robert Joseph Pillard.
U.S. Army, we all miss you, Dad. Save us a spot.
On behalf of the family of Douglas Allen Johnston, U.S. Army, rest in peace.
On behalf of the family of Edward Henry Remmers, U.S. Navy.
My husband, Master Sergeant Michael Howard Smith, United States Army Ranger.
Today we honor our father-in-law, husband, and friend, David L. Watson, 4 tours to Vietnam, U.S. Navy. Welcome home, Dad.
My father,
my grandfather, Creedon Spencer Gitt,
United States Air Force.
On behalf of the family of Daniel Carl Smith, United States Navy, thank you and welcome home.
On behalf of my family, honoring my uncle, Sergeant First Class Anthony Richards, United States Army.
In honor of my father and her brother, Denton Fenstermacher, U.S. Marine Corps.
On behalf of my oldest brother, Chief Charles Laforte, we are here to honor him. I'm the only sibling living out of 5, and I have my sister-in-law who just lost my brother who was supposed to have been here. We remember all of them. Navy, Vietnam 2 tours.
In honor of the family of William Arthur Straub, that served in the U.S. Army and was born May 2nd, 1946, died March 16th, 2020. Thank you for your service.
I am here to honor Daddy, Gail Edward Sipes, United States Air Force, beloved son, husband, brother, father, and papa. Thank you.
On behalf of the family, for Thomas Henry Stello, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the Woods family, we honor our father, Paul Aubrey Woods Sr., United States Navy, and a victim of Agent Orange.
On behalf of the family of Carl E. Reeves, U.S. Army.
It's my privilege to honor my father, Major David Leo Fitzgerald.
68, 69, 71, Air Force.
Thank you.
Say hi to Sinatra for us, please.
You would have loved Top Gun Maverick.
In memory of my father, Reynaldo S. Torres.
U.S. Army, Vietnam, 1967 to 68.
We miss you.
On behalf of the Elliott family, we're proud to remember our dad, John Elliott, Air Cav, U.S. Army, Vietnam, recipient of 3 Purple Hearts, 28 Air Medals, 1 Bronze Star, and 1 Silver Star.
On behalf of the family of Charles A. Rollins, United States Army.
I'm here to honor my dad, Leon Jerry Thigpen, my hero, Vietnam, 1968-69, Semper Fi.
We're here to honor our brother, Jerry Blanton, served in Vietnam, 69-70, 2 tours of duty, Bronze Star, and he passed in 1991, way too soon from effects of the war, and we love and miss you.
On behalf of the family of Gary Alexis Hines, we all thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family, it's a privilege to honor Daryl Edward Snidrich, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service, sir.
On behalf of the family of Anthony Abrams, U.S. Marine Corps, thank you for your service and rest in peace.
On behalf of the family, we honor William Smolik, United States Army.
On the behalf of the family, we honor Tom Jagger, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Harold Dean Price, U.S. Air Force, thank you for your service.
We honor my husband of 50 years, Russ Chambers, much loved and loved by his wife, granddaughters, and great-granddaughters, U.S. Navy.
On behalf of my husband,
In honor of my husband.
in honor of my husband,
George Francardis.
George Francardis,
And our grandfather.
Who served from the U.S. Marine Corps in 1968 to 1970. Forever and always, Semper Fi.
welcome home, Fran.
We love you, Nan.
In loving memory of my husband,
Father, grandfather,
Bruce L. Bazio, United States Army. Love and miss you every day, hon.
Thank you for your service. Welcome home.
In honor of the family, Gerald Stephen Garrison, United States Air Force. Thank you for your service, sir.
On behalf of the family of Alan Edward Simpson, U.S. Army.
On behalf of his family, James Robert Delp Jr., U.S. Navy.
On behalf of the family of William Carl Hartley, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Jamie Darrell Tate, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Spencer A. Harding, U.S. Air Force.
On behalf of the family, we honor Wade Taser, U.S. Navy.
I'm proud to honor Joseph Edward Harbinson, U.S. Navy.
On behalf of the family, I'd like to honor James Silas Cy Thomas Jr., U.S. Army. Welcome home. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Stanley J. Smith, United States Navy, thank you for your service.
Along with our 6 siblings and families, we
are here to honor Master Chief William Arthur Bennett, Navy Seabees, Can Do, 26 years military service, 3 tours of duty in Vietnam. We honor you.
On behalf of his family, I'm proud to honor Jerry Dean Hamilton, U.S. Navy.
On behalf of the family of Dwayne C. Swanson, U.S. Army. Thank you, sir.
On behalf of the family of Donald Hogan, United States Army, we thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family, Nick Rector, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family, for Ronald Wayne Jones, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Michael Lynn Thornton, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Earl Edmund Haynes, U.S. Army, we honor your service.
On behalf of her husband and my dad, James Villard, Sergeant, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Robert Bob Hetzman, U.S. Navy, thank you for your service.
On behalf of our father, Papa, brother, we are here to honor and remember my husband of 53 years, William Porter Sr., United States Navy, Seabees, July, Vietnam, 1969, her Purple Heart recipient.
In honor of my husband, father of 1, grandfather of 3, and friend, Larry Wayne Revley, United States Army, Vietnam, 67, 68. We miss you, Peepaw, Oliver Sterling, and Bronson.
Hoo-ah.
My family would like to honor my father, a husband, a grandfather, Richard Miller Morrison Jr., 196th Infantry, United States Army.
Honoring my husband, soulmate, their father, grandfather of 3, Joseph E. Knowles, Vietnam, 67, 68, United States Marine Corps. Semper Fi.
On behalf of our family, we honor today my father,
My brother,
my husband of 44 years.
William Lloyd Freeman, U.S. Army, 3 combat tours with the 173rd Airborne. Thanks, Dad. Love you.
love your dad.
My dad, Mike McCullum, U.S. Army, Big Red One.
On behalf of my family, Joseph Kopech Jr., United States Navy.
The family would like to honor Ray Henry, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
Our family is here to honor Larry Fredericks, United States Army, 101st Airborne Combat Engineers, 326th Battalion, Bronze Star, a devoted, loving husband, father, and grandfather. We love you, Dad. In honor of my dad, David Charles Olson, Pam, Kelsey, Emily, and Kristen, miss you every day.
We are here to honor Dr. Gary Lee Dwyer, my loving husband and best friend, Dad to Jason and Adam, Papa to Charlie, Maria, and Morgan, loving brother and uncle, served U.S. Army in Vietnam, 1966-67.
In memory of my dad, Robert Thomas Feeke, U.S. Navy.
Father-in-law, husband, and grandfather of 4.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
We love you and miss you, Hub.
We represent the family of Gerald, Jerry Weinstein, my dad, Airman, First Class, U.S. Air Force.
Proud veteran, father, brother, uncle, grandfather, father-in-law, and a New York Giants football fan.
On behalf of our family, we honor and remember my cousin and Jessica's dad, Edward J. Benson, U.S. Army.
In memory of my husband and her father, William Ora Benedict Sr., U.S. Army.
In honor of the Deschamps family, my mom of 56 years, my brothers, our father, John Robert Deschamps Sr., U.S. Army, 65, 66.
On behalf of his family, we honor Arthur James Toscano Jr., United States Army. Thank you for your service.
My brother-in-law, along with family and wife of 69 years, would like to honor retired Major Robert Earl Highlands, 23 years U.S. Army service, Republic of Vietnam, March 68, medically evac February 23rd, 1969. Purple Heart and Bronze Star with Valor. We miss you, Dad. Love you.
Robert E. Highlands, Jr.
On behalf of the family of Lawrence Travis, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
In honor of Lieutenant Colonel John Anthony Wachter, United States Marine Corps, Korea and Vietnam, rest in peace, Dad.
Super 5.
On behalf of the family for Warden Ray Raines, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Lawrence Walter Durkis, United States Army, thank you for your sacrifice.
On behalf of the family of Robert Michael Kelly, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Anthony Thomas DeFina, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of David William North, U.S. Air Force.
On behalf of the family and friends of Randy William Turner, U.S. Marine Corps.
On behalf of the family, we honor Gary Eugene Klopstein, United States Marine Corps.
On behalf of the family of John Raymond Hagan, U.S. Air Force.
We honor David S. Kenny, U.S. Army. We thank you for your sacrifice.
On behalf of the family of Paul William Joins, U.S. Army.
In memory of Richard Lee Quick, Jr., U.S. Navy, thank you for your service.
I'm proud to honor Rodney Darrell Johnston, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, we honor Kenneth Theodore Copeland, Sr.
In honor of my husband, Virgil Earl Bennett III, also known as Bud.
My dad, grandpa, and great-grandpa.
And stepdad. We miss you.
U.S. Navy.
On behalf of the family of Raymond Lewis Trumpke, U.S. Army, thank you for your service and welcome home.
Our beloved Sam Ferguson, Army Infantry, 68-69 Vietnam, Purple Heart with Oak Leaf. We will never forget.
We love you, Dad.
We're here to honor my husband of 50 years, Joseph J. and Gino, U.S. Army, the Big Red One, and I'd like to thank all our family and friends for coming and celebrating with us.
Miss you, Daddy. Father of 6, grandfather of 10.
In honor of William E. Knoll, a husband, a father to 6, and grandfather to many.
Happy anniversary, honey. I love you more.
On behalf of the family of Randy George Travis, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
In honor and loving memory of my father, my family's hero, and
my pop,
James Patrick Carroll, U.S. Army paratrooper, 101st and 82nd Airborne Division. Love you, Dad.
We are here to honor my grandpa, James Hauge.
Honoring my husband of 40 years, James Mods Hauge, Army medic, served in Pleiku, 68 and 69, Bronze Star, also delivered a baby in the field. Our 10 family members are here to honor him today. Love you, Grandpa.
On behalf of our family, in honor of our uncle, Michael Murphy, U.S. Navy.
Devoted husband, father, grandfather, and beloved friend by many. We honor Jim Herder, U.S. Army, and fully disabled veteran as a victim of Agent Orange. Thank you.
I have 2 on my mother's side. Stenson Kiana, U.S. Army, and my father, David O'Bear Sr., U.S. Marine Corps. Thanks.
We love and miss you.
Me and my brother are here with our siblings to honor our father, Colonel Sammy T. Adams, the Dean of Discipline.
He served in Vietnam. He was a veteran of World War II, Korea, was a recipient of the Silver Star, Bronze Stars, Purple Hearts, and he was a true Mustang Marine. Semper Fi. Happy Father's Day.
God bless you.
Honoring husband, father, uncle, grandfather, great-grandfather, Master Sergeant Raymond E. Hazard, U.S. Air Force.
On behalf of the family of Willie B. Tyner, U.S. Army, thank you.
On behalf of our family, honoring my grandpa.
My father, my dad, Major Stan Voigt, retired major, from 1956 to 76. He went in as an E1 and retired as a major.
U.S. Army.
If he were here, he would have said, "Holy buckets."
On behalf of my family, me and my cousin here would like to honor my grandfather, Stephen Leonard Champeau. He served 2 tours in the Navy, and he loved the Red Sox. I carry a picture of you with me everywhere that I go, and I know that one day I will do great things and make you proud. I love you, Grandpa Steve.
We love and miss you.
I'm here to honor our father, grandfather, great-grandfather, Staff Sergeant Stuart Allen Crumpet Sr., 7th Transportation Company, 7th Army, Bronze Star recipient. I love and miss you, Daddy.
Our dad, Master Sergeant Phil Fiskus, United States Air Force, retired.
On behalf of his family, I'm proud to honor William A. Borman, Jr., U.S. Air Force.
On behalf of his family, we honor Mark Turner, who served U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of his family, I'd like to thank U.S. Army Donald Hogan. Thank you.
In memory of David Vincent Banaszewski, who passed away 8 years ago today, we love you and miss you. U.S. Army, 1965-66, Vietnam. Rest in peace.
Honoring the service of Gregory Charles Gray, U.S. Army.
Honoring my husband, George Jonathan Wing, U.S. Air Force, Sergeant, Phu Cat, Vietnam, 67 through Tet Offensive.
On behalf of the family of Mike Thomas Ingram, he was in the Marine Corps. We all thank you for your service.
Honoring my husband, Richard Eugene Schrung, Air Force retired, husband of 50 years, father of 2, grandfather of 4, and great-grandfather of 2.
Honoring the family of Walter J. Green, U.S. Army, thank you for your service and rest in peace.
In honor of her husband, my father and hero, George Charles DeVries, U.S. Air Force, 823rd Red Horse Combat Engineers, and U.S. Army, Big Red 1, Vietnam 1970 to 1971.
Beloved father, grandfather, husband, of course, and ladies and gentlemen, I truly believe that God holds a special place in heaven for our Vietnam vets. God bless you all.
Good afternoon. I am Lieutenant Colonel Jacqueline Lee Crum, retired United States Air Force. I am representing my siblings, my mother, and our entire family. We honor Sergeant First Class Walter T. Lee Sr., United States Army. He served 3 tours, a Purple Heart, and received a Bronze Star with Valor. Thank you.
Honoring my husband, Arthur Leo Flynn, U.S. Air Force, tour of duty Vietnam 70-71, beloved son, father, grandfather, uncle, and brother. We love you.
On behalf of my mother and my entire family, we honor my dad, James N. Jones, U.S. Army, Vietnam 1966 to 1968.
We honor the family, Keith L. Ratzelaff of U.S. Army.
Mitchell Frank Ward, U.S. Navy, beloved husband, father, and grandfather, but better known as Peepaw.
On behalf of the family, we honor Ronald Joseph Presser.
On behalf of my mother who could not make it today, and myself, I have the privilege of honoring my father, Earl Luther Davis, Specialist 4 from the U.S. Army, from Little Bitty Marshall, North Carolina. I'm so thankful for his service and his sacrifice. Happy Father's Day, Daddy. I love and miss you.
On behalf of the family, we honor Michael F. Rabe, U.S. Army.
My husband of 55 years, father of 5, grandfather of 15, great-grandfather of 4, my hero, Patrick Lee Nex, Marine Corps, Vietnam 66-67.
On behalf of the family, we honor Ronald Lee Path, U.S. Navy. Thank you for your service.
In memory of Danny L. Murphy, U.S. Marine Corps.
On behalf of the family of Robert Francis Wade, U.S. Marine Corps, thank you for your service.
Patrick, David, and Bobby, not present, and our mother, not present, would like to honor our father, Master Sergeant Charles Allen Keyser, Pararescue, U.S. Air Force, Aerospace Rescue and Command, 2 Bronze Stars, Navy Cross, Purple Heart. Thank you, and welcome home.
On behalf of the family of Boyd Earl Vadalaro, United States Air Force.
In honor of my husband of 50 years, Master Sergeant Eugene Henderson, Vietnam, 1969 and 1970, U.S. Army.
My father and grandfather, the 2, and great-grandfather, the 2, and my birthday twin. So, you know, every birthday I'm going to pull one up for you, so glad to hear that. Thank you.
In memory of my husband, Kenneth Joseph Voigt, Sr., U.S. Army, retired, 2 tours in Vietnam, 1968 to 1970, 101st Airborne, Screaming Eagles.
In honor of my husband of 50 years, Master Sergeant James Hatter, Jr., Vietnam, 1967 to 1968. And we love you.
On behalf of the family, we honor Donald Lee Kowalik, United States Army.
This is in honor of my husband, Mario Moreno. He was 101st Airborne, 2 tours of duty in Vietnam, 1969 to 1970. He won the bronze medal, and we miss you and we love you. Thank you.
Welcome home, Screaming Eagle.
On behalf of our family, we honor my uncle, Enrique Henry Baldonado, U.S. Army.
Dennis Squeak Swecker, my husband, U.S. Air Force.
Thank you for your service.
In memory of my dad, Roger Stevenson, loving dad, grandfather, brother, uncle, cousin, and friend, U.S. Army.
We are here to honor my husband and best friend of 40 years, James Ross Hinkey.
Father, grandpa.
Brother, uncle, friend, Lance Corporal, 1st Marine Division, Amphibian Unit, Vietnam, 1966 to 68, Purple Heart recipient. We love you, honey.
Love you, Dad.
On behalf of his family, we honor Philip Joel Thomas, United States Army. Thank you for your service, sir.
I'm proud to honor Richard William Hafer, United States Marine Corps.
On behalf of the family and friends of Jerome Edward Kramer, U.S. Army.
I'm honoring my husband, Stacy and Cindy's father, Faith, Sarah, Jenna, and Nathan's papa, Lieutenant Don King, U.S. Army 809th Engineers, Thailand, 1967 to 1969.
On behalf of his family and our brother, E5 Paul Leroy Close, U.S. Navy, 5th Marine Division, Hospital Medic.
Vietnam, February 1968 to September 1969.
On behalf of the family, we honor Dennis Everett Hockenberry, U.S. Army.
In memory of James J. Kruger II, U.S. Army. Thank you for his service.
On behalf of his family, Daryl Jiggs Howard Giroux, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family for Dan Oliver Walker, U.S. Army, thank you for his service.
On behalf of the family of James Cameron Glasgow, we'd like to honor your service and say thank you.
I'm here to honor my husband, 47 years. Best friend, Daryl Frank Wilkes, United States Air Force.
In honor of my father,
James J. Wildarzik, U.S. Army, husband 46 years.
welcome home, Dad.
On behalf of my mother, my siblings,
his grandchildren, our father,
my grandfather and Vietnam combat veteran, Patrick John Sigmund, 4th and 5th Battalions, 12th Infantry, 199th Light Infantry Brigade. Miss you, Papa.
My son John and I are here to honor my amazing husband and my best friend, First Lieutenant John W. Beck, Jr., Purple Heart and 2 Bronze Stars recipient.
On behalf of my entire family, we honor my father, Roger Blaylock, U.S. Navy. He served on the ground as a medic in Vietnam from 1967 to 1968. He received 3 Purple Hearts, 2 Bronze Stars, and a Silver Star. Thank you.
In memory of Kenneth Ray Grant, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, we honor Robert Milton Kircher Jr., U.S. Marine Corps. Hoorah, sir.
He filled up my senses for 58 years. My husband, Christopher Robin Martinson, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 1969 to 1970.
On behalf of my entire family, we'd like to thank VVMF for this opportunity to honor my dad, Kenneth Milton Diebert, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 69 to 71, grandfather, dad, father-in-law, uncle, son, husband, friend of many. And if he were here, he would want to make sure that I told you all that he was an avid St. Louis Cardinal baseball fan.
If he was here in the audience, he probably wouldn't be able to hear you anyway, but he'd love to see it.
In honor of my father, my pappy, Richard F. Wells Sr., U.S. Army, in country 65-66, Pleiku, Vietnam, Signal Corps.
On behalf of the family, we honor Kenneth C. Osborne, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Bobby Ray Brannon, U.S. Army. Thank you.
We are here to honor and remember Gary Martin McMurtry, husband, father, and grandfather. United States Navy, Vietnam, 70-71.
We're here to honor our loving husband, Thomas Alvin Cowan III,
Grandpa of 6,
and father of 4, U.S. Army, 67 to 69.
in honor of our loving father, brother, and uncle,
my husband, and Poppy too, the 6 wonderful boys that are out there. He was in the U.S. Army Specialist Force.
Raymond Lee.
Raymond Lee.
In honor of my husband of 40 years, Carl Douglas Scherer, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 1968 to 1970, passed away April 5th, 2018.
He died a month and a half before I met my wife, Kelly, and he never got to meet his 2 grandkids, Hudson and Hadley, who he would have loved more than life itself. And we love you and miss you, Dad. You're our hero.
We miss you.
In honor of my husband, Sergeant Wayne Addison Eller Sr., United States Marine Corps, 3rd Marines.
On behalf of the family, we honor Donald R. Litzow, U.S. Army. Welcome home. Thank you for your service.
In loving memory of our father, grandfather, uncle, loving husband,
Ronald J. Savelle, Sentry Dog Handler, U.S. Air Force, our hero. We love him and miss him dearly every day.
Vietnam, 68-69. We love you, Dad.
We honor our dad and papa, Gary L. Butler, U.S. Navy Seabee, Vietnam, 66 to 67. Can do.
In loving memory of my hero, my husband, father, stepfather, grandfather, Stephen DeGangi, U.S. Navy,
Army.
Army, U.S. Army, 1966-68. We love and miss you so, and we'll miss your doo-wops.
On behalf of the family of Roger David Pearson, United States Air Force, we thank you for your service.
my dad, his soon-to-be father-in-law, Gunnery Sergeant Joseph William Ascolillo Jr., United States Marine Corps, 3 Purple Hearts.
On behalf of our entire family, we are honored to be here to remember our dad, Frederick Eugene Jenneman.
A loving and proud husband, dad, papa, and U.S.
Navy veteran.
Yeah, you can get up.
In honor of our great uncle Dennis Peter McFarland, 70 to 71, love you always, fly high.
In loving memory of William Dale Kohler, United States Marine Corps, 1st, 5th, in country 68 to 69, my husband of 50 years, loving father of 3, proud papa of 8, and 1 on the way.
In honor of my husband, Brian J. Campbell, Air Force, Vietnam, 1964 and 1965. I'm here to give respect for him for the service that he had done, as well as our son, Taylor Campbell, who joined the Marines in honor of his dad. Thank you so much.
On behalf of the family of Richard Allen Wallier, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, we honor Everett Allen Lowry, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Jerry Mack Powell, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
In honor of the family, Stephen Thomas Love, U.S. Army.
In memory of John Quinlan, U.S. Army.
In memory of Richard Edward Larbetsky, U.S. Air Force. Thank you for your service.
In honor of the family of Jimmy Goins, U.S. Army, thank you for your service and rest in peace.
On behalf of the family, we honor Donald Lee Kinsey, United States Marine Corps.
I'm proud to honor Don W. Gray, U.S. Army.
Honoring the memory of Ernie Gonzalez, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
In love and memory of my husband, Paul Millard Montgomery, U.S. Navy.
In honor of the family, for George Luther James, U.S. Air Force.
On behalf of our family, today I honored my husband, Charles Kirk Zerian, U.S. Navy.
On behalf of the family of Joseph M.R. Kurth, U.S. Army.
In honor of my husband, Staff Sergeant Richard Michael Schofield, U.S. Air Force.
We're here to honor Marvin Britsky, 4th Infantry Division, Army, 1967-1968.
Our dad, our hero, Richard Eugene Filato, Amtrak's U.S. Marine Corps, Semper Fi.
Honoring my dad, Tech Sergeant Kenneth H. Johnson, who's a husband, brother, father, grandfather, retired Air Force, Vietnam, 70 and 71. We love and miss you.
On behalf of the family of Michael James Desmarais, U.S. Navy.
Honor my husband, Gary Delbert Barker, U.S. Army. He was a loving husband, father, son, and stepson, and brother. Army, 1967, 68, Purple Heart, and he passed away in July 23rd of 1975.
I'm here to honor my husband, his grandfather, loving father of 3 children, 9 grandchildren, 1 bonus, and great-grandson Nathan, Captain John Slater Hadfield, served in Vietnam from 1968 to 1969 and was the recipient of a Bronze Star with an oak leaf cluster.
In honor of my husband, Anthony E. Oswald, Marine Corps, loving husband of 52 years, great dad, 6 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren. Thank you for marrying a young protester and rehabilitating her. Thank you.
In honor of all veterans, my father, a loving husband, a father, a brother, a grandfather, a great father, retired sergeant, U.S. Army.
Robert Herschel Johnson, Sr., Vietnam, 4 tours. Thank you.
In honor of Frank Rudolph Lanich, U.S. Marine Corps.
On behalf of our mother, we'd like to honor our father, our hero, Colin John Pitts McIntosh, United States Navy, 2 tours, Tonkin Gulf on the USS Constellation.
Papa Colin, we love you and life is good.
Our father, proud veteran, Bob Marld, U.S. Army.
In honor of a loving husband, father, and Pop, Larry Fred Spencer, United States Marine Corps Scout Sniper, Vietnam, 1968-1969.
We're proud to honor our father, Sergeant Richard Martin Darr Jr., United States Army.
On behalf of my mother and our family, my father, James Roger Hendershot, Air Force, Udorn Air Force Base, 7071.
On behalf of his family, we honor Mario J. Lasapio, United States Army. Welcome home, sir.
On behalf of the family of William B. Gallagher Jr., U.S. Marine Corps, thank you for your service.
This is in honor of my husband, Dwight C. Vanenwegen, and
My dad, he was a U.S. Marine.
yes, he was in the Special Forces in the Marines, and he's a dad to 3 beautiful daughters, and he was taken way too soon. Is that all? Okay, thank you.
On behalf of the family of Dennis B. Moore, who was in the U.S. Army, we'd all like to thank you for your service.
For our family, we're proud to honor our father,
grandfather,
great-grandfather, and husband, Engineman 3rd Class Charles Martin Turner, United States Navy.
Love you, Grandpa Chuck.
On behalf of the family, we honor George Cicero Fogel, U.S. Army.
Memory of Bobby D. Lee, U.S. Navy. Thank you for his service.
In memory of George Otis P., U.S. Army.
In honor of Richard Baker Libby, U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you for his service.
On behalf of the family, we honor Keith L. Fay, U.S. Marine Corps. Welcome home. Thank you for your service. Semper Fi.
On behalf of the family, we honor Alan J. Wondergem, U.S. Army. Rest easy, soldier.
In memory of Thomas John Hathaway, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, we honor Frank Zustiak, U.S. Army.
On behalf of his family, we are proud to honor Roger Lee Highland, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of United States Army veteran Rodney Lee Heckerman, thank you for your service, sir. Welcome home.
In honor of my husband, Dennis Joseph Murphy III, 4th Infantry Army, in country 6971.
On behalf of the family, we honor Jack Chester Dunn, United States Army. Thank you for your service.
For the family, I'm proud to honor Frank Ashworth Peacock, U.S. Air Force. Thank you for your service and rest in peace.
On behalf of the family of Ronald C. Effler, U.S. Army, we honor you. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of our 3 children, 11 grandchildren, 4 great-grandchildren, and another one due in August, I'm here for my husband of 52 years, Robert Albert Beck, Jr., U.S. Navy.
On behalf of their families, I am proud to honor Anthony P. Lapadura and Dennis Wayne Galvin, both U.S. Army.
In honor of Gary Patrick Dino, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
In honor of my husband and her father, Carl R. Brooks, Jr., U.S. Army, 173rd Airborne Combat Vet.
On behalf of the family, we honor James S. Winslow, United States Army.
In honor of my father and grandfather, Patrick Ian Murray Nolte, from Advanced Party, C Company, 8th Engineer Battalion, 1st Cavalry Division, Vietnam, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of David Bruce Wenger, U.S. Marine Corps, thank you for your service.
On behalf of myself, my sister, and my brother, we'd like to honor my father, John D. Fye Jr., on U.S. Marine Corps, Vietnam, 1968 to 1969. You're at peace, Dad. Thank you.
We honor Joseph Lawrence Markey Jr., husband of 50 years, father to a set of twin girls, happy pappy to one beloved granddaughter, and a tin can sailor in the United States Navy.
We're here to honor James Harvey Stringham, and he served in the Army in 1966 to 1968.
On behalf of the family of Dennis Engebretson, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, we honor Michael Leonard Cottard, U.S. Marine Corps. Hoorah!
First, we'd like to thank our family and friends who made the trip with us, as we are here to honor our dad and her husband, Richard V. Fuentes, a father of 2 more kids, Richard and April, a brother of 15, a grandfather to Austin, Jonathan, AJ, Braden, Hannah, Ava, Zane, Alice, Amelia, Riddick, and Jude, father-in-law to Pam, Amanda, and Jessica Fuentes, Marine Corps Sergeant 1966 to 1970, a door gunner on the CH-53 Sea Stallion, fought in Vietnam from 1968 to 69. With us being in Washington, I know you'd want everyone to know that DC will always stand for Dallas Cowboys. We love you always, Pops. Rest easy, Marine.
Today, on his birthday, our entire family is proud and grateful for the chance to honor Justin J. McCarthy, United States Navy, Swiftboat Captain, Coastal Division 11, serving in Vietnam in 1970.
In loving memory of my father, Melvin Moulton, U.S. Army.
In memory of Dennis John Tedquist, U.S. Army.
In loving memory of my husband, Michael Wayne Werger, U.S. Marine Corps. He served in Vietnam 1970 and 1971.
On behalf of the family, we honor Stanley James Phillips, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
In memory of our dad, Alan Robb, U.S. Air Force, Vietnam, 1969, 1970. On behalf of the family, Wendell Dayton Phillips, U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you for your service.
Our uncle, Lori's godfather, Jazz's brother, Sergeant First Class E7, Anthony Chicky Jazenkonis.
Korea, Vietnam, 1966 to 1967. We thank you for your service. Uncle Chicky, you are a great, courageous, and brave man. You will be forever in our hearts, and we thank you for your service.
For the family of Michael Dale Heater of the U.S. Navy, I'd like to honor him and thank him for his service.
My husband of 49 years, Gary Norman Aldrich, United States Marine Corps, 3rd Division, 68 to 70. He was a proud dad to my son Todd, my daughter Heidi, and Papa to 3 grandsons.
Love and miss you, Dad.
I'm here to represent the state of Nebraska, the little town of Niobrara, Nebraska, and the Sage family, which lost 3 brothers in June 3rd of 1969. It is Gary Sage, Gregory Sage, and Kelly Joe Sage. They died in a Navy shipwreck, and they chose to serve together, and they chose to die together.
On behalf of the family of Robert, Bobby, Michael Wheeler, U.S. Army. Thank you, sir.
On behalf of the family, we'd like to recognize Lewis Francis Patty, U.S. Army. Welcome home.
Honoring the memory of Michael Leonard Wise, U.S. Marine Corps.
On behalf of the family, Mr. Marvin L. Potts, U.S. Air Force.
On behalf of the family, I am proud to represent Master Sergeant Dexter W. Slater, Marine Corps veteran, 2 tours in Vietnam.
United States Marine Corps. He was a husband, daddy, pappy, great-grandpappy, PTSD warrior, Marine of Marines.
In memory of James Eugene Canfield, U.S. Navy.
In memory and honor of my husband, Frank Norris Hensley, Jr., United States Marine Corps.
On behalf of the family, we honor Frank Paturis, U.S. Navy. Welcome home, sailor.
I'd like to honor my brother, my older brother, J. Perry Noonan III. He was Air Force Special Forces. He spent 4 years in Vietnam. If he's here, he'd like to point out that he has the black hair. Thank you.
On behalf of the family, we honor Michael Todd Prochaska, U.S. Marine Corps.
Our family honors my brother, Ricky Wayne Kaufman, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 6970.
On behalf of the family, we honor Jean I. Hollingsworth, U.S. Air Force. I got another one. And we honor, on behalf of the family, we honor Gary L. Houston, U.S. Army. Welcome home, vets.
We are here to honor my husband of 57 years, Gerald Doyle. He was on the aircraft carrier USS Ranger. He served 2 tours in Vietnam, 1996 to 66.
Loving husband, father, grandfather, happy Father's Day, Dad. We love you and miss you.
On behalf of the family, we honor Lee Arthur Hunter, U.S. Army. Thanks for your service.
It is an honor and a privilege to honor this soldier, Joseph Dennis Galejos, U.S. Army, for the family and friends.
On behalf of the family, we honor Lawrence Marks Repenchek, U.S. Navy. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Gary L. Westrick, U.S. Army, it's my honor to thank you for his service.
On behalf of the family, it is my honor and my privilege to announce Roger J. Hausner, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Terry John Domek, we honor from the U.S. Marines. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family, Martin Steve Lopez, U.S. Marine Corps, thank you for your service.
On behalf of his family, we honor Gene Edward Borozniak, United States Army. Thank you for your service, sir.
On behalf of Peter J. Van Cook, who's in the U.S. Army, we'd like to say thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family, we honor Donovan Carl Wilkstrom,
U.S. Air Force.
On behalf of the family, we honor John Robert Butchock, United States Marine Corps. Welcome home. Thank you for your service. Semper Fi.
On behalf of the family, Johnny Robert Bob Williams, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of his family, we are proud to honor Robert Eugene Busby, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, we honor Frank Eugene Wayman, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, I'm proud to honor James Edward Baumgartner, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service and rest in peace.
In grateful appreciation for your service, we honor Jonathan A. Fisher, U.S. Army. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of William Bruno Jr., U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family, we honor a hero, Daniel M. Welch, U.S. Navy.
On behalf of the family of Thomas Edward Bryant, U.S. Navy.
In memory of Thomas Dewey Weaver, U.S. Army. Thank you for his service.
I'm proud to honor Jim Brown, U.S. Army.
On behalf of the family of Cyrus Timothy Warner, U.S. Marine Corps, we thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family, honoring Milton Easton Broadhead, United States Air Force.
On behalf of the family, Roger Francis Watlett, United States Air Force veteran. Thank you for your service, sir. Welcome home.
On behalf of his family, it is my privilege to honor David Earl Brott in the U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Doyle A. Warbler, U.S. Navy, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Douglas Ward, U.S. Army, thank you for your service.
On behalf of the family of Calvin Frederick Carlson, we thank you for your service in U.S. Army.
In memory of my dad, Sergeant James R. Vrabel, United States Marine Corps, 1966 to 1968.
In honor of my loving husband, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and brother, Major John Adam Kimmel II, United States Army, Silver Star, Distinguished Flying Cross, Bronze Stars, and Purple Heart, Vietnam 67, 68, 70, 71, Ili Momo.
Beloved husband, father, grandfather, and soon-to-be great-grandfather, Joseph C. Morrison, U.S. Marine Corps, 64 to 68, served in Vietnam, 66, 67. Semper Fi.
On behalf of my family, we are here to honor my father, the world's best papa, Edwin Eugene Holsworth, United States Navy.
In love and memory of my husband, love of my life, who served in the U.S. Army as a staff sergeant, recently died from Agent Orange in March 18th. He served in Vietnam from 70 to 72. He was a loving husband, father, and grandfather. And thank y'all so much for finally giving these veterans the recognition they so long for and their hearts ached for. It's about time. Thank y'all. Oh, Michael Keith Smith, U.S. Army.
I am here to honor my husband, Michael Stevenson, who is with the United States Air Force. He would be so honored to be here. And I just want to say I love you, and I did this all by myself. More.
On behalf of his family, honoring Victor Eugene Serber out of Omaha, Nebraska, U.S. Marine Corps. And on behalf of his wife and my mother, his brothers and sisters, his grandkids back home, Charlotte and Catherine, and his kids, Keith Sonny Serber, U.S. Army.
On behalf of my siblings and I, we are proud to honor Pete Lawhorn, Vietnam 69 and 70 with the 25th Infantry Division.
It is a privilege to honor my precious husband, John C. Stowell Jr., father, grandfather, great-grandfather. He proudly served in the United States Marine Corps in Vietnam from 65 to 66. Semper Fi.
In memory of Christopher S. Bubness, U.S. Army.
In honor of my husband, Ernest Ray Paw, served in Vietnam from 68 to 70.
In honor of my dad, Philip J. Heil Jr., U.S. Army, in Vietnam, 1970 to 71.
I am honored to present the following individual on behalf of Virginia Delgaso Puckett and Lauren K. Puckett, Chief Warrant Officer Louis E. Puckett, Jr., United States Army, Combat Medic, Physician's Assistant, Army Commendation 3 Oak Leaves, Meritorious Service Medal, Purple Heart.
In honor of Staff Sergeant Larry Ted Lofka, U.S. Army, he was an amazing father, grandfather, and loving husband. He'll always be our hero.
I'm here to honor my husband, John Henry Nitka. He passed away on December the 5th of 2022. He was a proud veteran. He served in Vietnam with the U.S. Army, 1967-1968. He was with the 9th Infantry Division, and then he was with the 11th Armored Cav. I love you and I miss you. And as I say always, God brought you home to me, and you brought our dreams to life.
Love you, Dad.
6 months without you, Daddy. Not right, but I'll be loving you always.
Happy Father's Day, Papa.
We honor my husband, Phil Dan McClendon. Following in his father's footsteps, he joined the U.S. Army. He proudly served in Phu Bai, Hue, Vietnam in 1969 and 70. He was ultimately the victim of Agent Orange, and he joined his Father in heaven with no fear. Thank you.
In loving memory of my friend for over 30 years. Say father.
My father.
My brother.
Thomas H. Corey, United States Army, 1st Air Cav, served 1967 to 1968. Medically wounded, spinal cord injury from the neck down, devoted his entire life, 47 years, to serve Vietnam veterans, and was responsible for making this in-memory plaque available for all veterans. We honor him today with his entire family of 10 brothers and sisters, his son, and all his nieces and nephews. Thank you.
He was the past president of the Vietnam Veterans of America. He returned to Vietnam 16 times to recover remains of our missing in action. As a full quadriplegic.
Thank you.
In loving memory of my husband, Thomas P. Lawrence, U.S. Army, 67-68, tropic lightning, 25th.
On behalf of my family, we honor my father, Donald Allen Moberg, U.S. Navy.
On behalf of my family, my father, grandfather, Merlin L. Cook, U.S. Army, commitment and sacrifice. I love you, Dad.
Thank you, Daddy, for your service.
In honor of my husband of almost 29 years, my soulmate, love of my life, didn't get to meet the redhead that was after him, his great-granddaughter, but she takes right after him. U.S. Army engineers, 68 to 71, 3 tours in Vietnam. Gone too soon, but he got a last laugh. He died on his birthday, so I wouldn't forget the date. God bless.
I'm here to honor my husband, Sergeant First Class Jeff D. Maddox. 2 tours in Vietnam. And thank you.
In honor of a loving husband, grandfather, and father, my dad, Orlando Matasosa, United States Marine Corps, Purple Heart.
I and my 2 daughters are here to honor my husband and their father, who passed away in 2001. Spec 4, Kenneth Doyle Etherly, U.S. Army, 2 tours in Vietnam, 1967 and 1968.
Thank you for your service. I'm here on behalf of my family to honor my dad, Ronald William Gadzinski, U.S. Army. He was the best dad in the world, best husband, best grandpa. We miss you. Happy Father's Day, and thank you for your service, and welcome home, Dad.
I'm here to honor my husband of 60 years.
He was a father of 5, grandfather of 16, 13 great-grandchildren. He was a Steelers fan, and he showed no mercy when playing Monopoly, no matter who you were.
And ladies and gentlemen, the final honoree for 2023, Joel Wesley Whiteley, United States Air Force. A round of applause for all of our honorees. You know, over the last 40 years, there have been more than 250,000 items left behind here at the wall in tribute to all Vietnam veterans. The items range from moving handwritten notes to baby booties, to a custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle, and I would like to read one of the notes left at the wall now. Our young friends, yes, young friends, for in our hearts you will always be young, full of the love that is youth, love of joy, love of country. You fought for your country and for its safety
and for the freedom of others with strength and courage. We love you for it. We honor you, and we have faith, as he does all his sacred children, the Lord will bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and give you peace now and forevermore. The authors of this note were the 40th president, the 40th president of the United States and his wife, Ronald and Nancy Reagan. They left that message here at the dedication of the wall over 40 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Master Gunnery Sergeant Amy McCabe, United States Marine Band, to play taps. We ask you to stand as you're able for the playing of taps, and taps will conclude our ceremony today. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.